Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my newest playthrough for my channel after I got off a week hiatus, River City Girls. Now, this game came out for WayForward and Arc System Works, and this is the first game from those two companies that I've actually played for the channel. Not to mention, this game came out for my birthday last year, literally 7 months ago. So on that note, we're going to actually play a game that you're going to be saving Kunio and Riki, the original stars of River City Ransom, from being kidnapped, with Misako and Kyoko, who, by the way, only made their debut from the Japanese-only River City Ransom games. And there were two of them, and they were, no, actually, three of them. Two of which were sports titles, and the other one was a Super Nintendo game that never made it to the States. Whatever the case, folks, get ready because the game's got some really good music, and more importantly, have a lot of references and throwbacks from many classic video games. Gee, that reminds me of a game that I recently played for this channel too. I better mention Neptunia. But enough about that, time to tell you how I'm going to tackle this game. I'm going to do this on New Game Plus because I just recently beat the game final boss for a reason, because there's actually two different bosses and you honestly need to get all the collectibles for the true final boss. Not to mention, I have to show off the other bosses, and doing that in lawyer mode is not possible. So on that note, New Game Plus, and not to mention all the enemies are tougher in New Game Plus anyway. So I'm going to be playing this game somewhat with Misako, but I will show off Kyoko, and eventually show off the characters you get from beating the game, Kunio and Riki. Not to mention getting all the collectibles after I unlock River City.
On the specified interval.
Can't take it anymore! Since when do they expect us to learn things in detention? Toes. That's it. I'm dead. Death by math. Here lies Misako, killed by numbers.
I don't even go to this school.
Huh? What is it, Kyoko?
Riki and Kunio! They've been kidnapped! Oh, Riki, I'll save you!
I'm coming, Kunio!
Girls, please take your seats.
No, you take them! You can't silence love, Mr. Rudis! We'll find whoever took our boyfriends and beat them into the street! Also, your lessons are boring!
Yeah, what she said! What's going on?
Now then, it's time for us to get out of River City High. But beforehand, there is an achievement here you could get before you leave the class. Try to take a swing at Mr. Rudis. That is actually an achievement. It's called, Your Lessons Are Boring. So whatever the case, we gotta beat up all the students that are in the school. And you're kinda locked out of leaving until you actually win. Now, also, at the start of this, if it's a New Game Plus, no matter how high your level is, it's going to be at half, because originally, if you start the game, level 1 would mean you'd be at full health. So, try to beat up all the kids that stand in your way, or at least the high school students. Now then, if you probably haven't noticed in the lower hand corner of the screen, oh yeah, and that door's locked, you'll probably see one, okay, I'm sorry, I'm stuttering here. You'll probably see one very well-known reference, which is Barf. By the way, that comes from River City Ransom, where every time an opponent gets the shit beat out of them, the word Barf shows up, and it always is random, actually. Now then, the high school student guys over here, there is something rather familiar about them, their fighting style, because they will try to use a forearm uppercut, a knee kick, and a heel stomp. That is something that Urien and Gil used to do, or still does, because they're in Street Fighter V. Speaking of Street Fighter V, why the hell is Seth back? Ugh. Enough about that. Anyway, what I'm showing off is certain options. I mean, I showed off the map and also some of the skills that I've already acquired. Not to mention, these are some of the items I acquired from the first game. I'm gonna have to change them up, but there's certain items that you can only get from bosses, and those leave after a New Game Plus. Now then, these are all the enemies that you can recruit. Yes, you can actually recruit enemies onto your side after you, well, spare them. But there's a lot more enemies where that came from. Like, certain people have about 6 types, certain other ones have about 3, and there's only 1 type of the Whip Girl, so there's that. Ouch. That's annoying. But here's the thing. If you stay in this area after you beat enemies, there'll be more stronger enemies, and they're not going to drop any items. And one of the things that is the biggest problem with this game, from like a gameplay perspective, is like the cash sometimes, well, it's hard to get. And you gotta have increased luck in order for to actually get more cash. Let alone an item that you have to get way later on in the game in order for there to be double the chance of cash showing up. I've already recruited someone, so I don't have to worry about that. And then there's these vending machines that actually drop snacks. Oh, and don't think about trying to get out of this right now. You have to actually beat the first boss in order to explore the entirety of the school. Your then, same rules apply for River City Ransom. Food will actually up your stats as well as restore your stamina. However, it's a lot different from the original. For starters, the max is not 63 across the board except for certain stats. No, they're a lot different. Let's put it to you like this. The stamina is maxed at 39, and strength and everything else is maxed between 25 and 15. So bear that in mind. Oh yeah, and by the way, that statue on the desk, that's your collectible. Those are the Sabu statues. And you need 25 of them in order to get the true final boss of the game. And also, not only that, you had to actually beat the original boss in the first round of the game. So on that note, time for a cutscene.
Oh look, it's those girls. Thought I smelled something.
Hasabe! Mommy!
Hey, Misako. Shouldn't you two be in detention or something?
We broke out.
OMG, seriously? I was joking. And I'm ditching my school to hang out here.
Have you two seen Kunio or Ricky?
Just like every day. Every night, actually.
They've been kidnapped!
I got a text! That must be so special for you. Sorry, girls, haven't seen them, but we'll so let you know the second we do. Right, Mommy? Oh, for sure.
Thanks. We gotta go beat up more people now.
Laters.
By the way, River City High was the last stage in River City Ransom. By the way, I'm trying to take my shot at Hasabe and Mommy, but unfortunately, that won't work for right now. Hasabe and Mommy were also the captured girls. Well, no. Actually, Mommy was the captured girl. Hasabe was the one to try to tell you where Mommy is located. So, on that note, Mommy was actually the captured girl in River City Ransom for the NES. Meanwhile, we're fighting these cheerleaders, and the cheerleaders, let's be honest, they are kind of unpredictable. They do have BB Hood skipping animation, but also they have the diving kick that Cammy normally does. Well, a thrust kick that Cammy normally does, and they also have other fighting moves similar to that of certain other characters, like for instance the cartwheel kick from, if I'm not mistaken, Momoko from King of Fighters 11. But seriously, the cheerleaders are definitely one of the tougher enemies in the game, but they get a lot tougher later on. Oh, and by the way, anybody notice the PSA of a Bobo? The fact that a Bobo is having a PSA about puberty is freaking hilarious. And I had to pause it too because, well, Upload Studio, what do you expect? I kind of lost track of time. But, Abobo's PSA is definitely hilarious. He's talking about punching until bricks explodes towards you.
I just hope the suit is not
That is fantastic.
here today.
Oh, and I also happen to notice
You're
that
gonna let a
Kyoko
300-pound
and
security
Misako
guard stand
tend
between you
to
and
talk
Ricky?
to each other from the top corners of the screen because they are basically like doing in-game dialogue and breaking the fourth wall. The fourth wall breaks may not be as like common as Hyperdimension Neptunia, but they tend to do it a lot. Oh, and I forgot about the schoolgirls. They actually do Ken's version of the Tatsumaki Senpu Kyaku from X-Men vs. Street Fighter. The one that just goes into an arc instead of just go straight forward. And I just leveled up too and gotten some increase in my actually in some of my stats. I couldn't see what they were because they were in the corner. But whatever the case, you level up, you get stats. You eat food, you get stats. So that's kind of a good thing. Also, there's a Sabu statue here in the pool. So you might want to, before you leave this area, go right past the pool and break the Sabu statue. So those are the only two Sabu statues in this area. And remember, folks, you have to actually beat Otis in the pool area in River City Ransom. So there is that. But, well, there goes my partner. He just got the shit kicked out of him really badly. Time for a new partner. And here's the thing, you can only have one recruit at a time, and they have about 3 and sometimes 4 hearts. And in these areas where it's a locked screen, if you do recruit the last person, that counts as beating the opponent. So the lock will end up breaking. And by the way, that lock should look awfully familiar to those who've played Phoenix Wright. And by the way, there's the Sabu statue right here. The lock basically is a reference to its Magatamas. And you need the Magatama to break the Cyclops. So on that note, we need to beat the hell out of everybody that stands in my way before we go further, because the boss is almost there. Well, we're almost at the boss's location, actually. And I am getting jumped here. I mean, the delinquents, they're definitely something. They do have a tendency to drop kick somebody in the face. And more importantly, they have the spinning kick that is hard to block. And by the way, I know there's a block button in the game. Problem is, the timing. I haven't gotten the timing down with the blocks. So there is that. Now, the delinquents' colors are actually interesting because they have the colors of most of the enemy teams from the original River City Ransom. And there's even zombie variants of certain fighters. Like the zombies were actually the toughest enemies in River City Ransom. There's zombie versions of majority of the enemies you're facing in this game. So bear that in mind. Now, I am getting completely roughed up because I'm not using the block button like an idiot. But at the same time, I'm also like not taking as much damage because I'm at level 15 right now. But that'll all change in a little bit. Because once we get to the boss is actually much more powerful than the minions. The minions are actually very aggressive, as you can clearly see. Oh, and for the record, the cheerleaders came from the sports games, in case you're wondering. So yeah, they are going to come out and kick your behind. Because after all, the sports games that actually were... Oh wait, let me rephrase that. Some of the sports games actually did came to the States. The cheerleaders were omitted because localization for the win. That's what it was. I had to remember that for a second. Now then, the principal is kind of an asshole. We don't get to fight him, but at the same time, he's constantly talking smack. So, we're almost done here. We just need to get up out of here. And we can't go into that door yet. And why did I break that open? I'm an idiot. Whatever the case,
No sign of
we're here in the
security.
boss area.
Maybe she's on break.
And unfortunately, it won't be silent for long. Oh boy. There's Mizuzu. And she went by a different name, Kim and Renegade. So
Out of our way, Miss Suzu!
Yeah, we don't want to hurt you.
Hurt me? Ha ha! You scrawny runts couldn't hurt a fly.
No way! Flies are easy to hurt.
As part of the school defense force, it's my job to keep idiots like you from sneaking out of class.
But you don't even go to this school.
Shut up! I'm trying to earn extra money! Don't act like you're smarter than me. I've been in high school for 7 years. Ain't nobody smarter at school stuff than Mizuzu.
I don't care how big or how dumb you are. We're getting out of this school right now.
Yeah, we gotta save Kunio and Ricky.
So go punch through another wall until you figure out how doors work.
Oh, that's it, you little turds. Time to get flushed.
alright, for reference, we're fighting Mizuzu, but she was called Kim and Renegade. She was the hardest boss and like the third to last boss because she... Well, let's put it like this. One punch for her took 3/4 of your health. And she basically was hard due to the fact that there was no control in Renegade. Here, she's a lot easier. And it's not just because of the fact that, well, I'm at level 15. It's because of the fact that she is predictable. And yeah, I do have some trouble because I kind of forget. But she's also very predictable in her attacks. Now then, some of the moves Mizuzu do may be very familiar to you. Like for instance, when she poses and she's about to butt stomp you, that is basically a shout out to the wrestler boss from the Simpsons arcade. And also when he misses the butt stomp and he's holding his behind, Mizuzu does that too. Now, she also at one point tries to charge at you like Rocksteady and Bebop from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games. Which, by the way, that too is also taken off the Xbox Live Arcade and PSN Arcade back in 2013 when Konami went full stupid. And the only way you can play those games is via emulator. And she's doing the charge right about now, so she'll sometimes run into you, or if she runs into a pillar, she'll be stunned. Also, while she's down, you can take a few shots at her, but don't complete the combo, otherwise she'll ground pound. Now, when she turns full red, this is her last stand. You can just move out the way and let her run into not only her, but also, well, run into not only a wall, but also run into columns too. And she'll also make more than one hit, and she'll be a lot powerful. And also make more than 2 hits, actually. Come on. Let's just get out of the way. And she butt stomped the column. Fantastic. Oh yeah, and I don't have any food. Well, crap. It'll be a while when she gets out of this, berserk state, so if you try to get some shots in, you're basically making a mistake, because she's gonna keep blocking, and the enemies will start getting smarter, which is why I like this game so much. Now then, she's almost at the end of this. We just need to finish her off, and that is the end of Mizuzu. First part, first boss. Go figure.
Ugh. You dweebs are tougher than you look. Give me a real workout.
I'd rather give you a hug, FYI.
Stay down. Don't make us fight you again.
Got a real mouth on you. Must be why Kunio likes you.
Have you seen Kunio?
And Ricky?
Yeah, but not around here. I saw them both in Crosstown yesterday, talking to someone creepy looking. Good luck finding...
Upload Studio? Seriously? It cut out most of the cutscene. So, yeah. Unfortunately, we'll be at the end of this cutscene because of Upload Studio. Damn it.
Sorry for punching you so much.
Upload Studio strikes yet again. Well, for the most part, at least we're near the end of the part. But we're not leaving out of River City High just yet. We got the makeup kit, and also we've got the keys to the school. So that way we can go back in and get some stuff. It's a good idea to backtrack into the school because of the fact that there is a certain item that you need later on that will help you out. So, on that note, we're going to be here in the playground kicking ass and taking names. So, we might as well just finish these guys off, and more importantly, we might as well just... Oh, god damn it! Get this out of the way, because after all, they are basically going to be areas that you haven't explored, and then when you do, it's going to be under lock and key due to the fact that you just went to this new area. So we might as well finish it off now. And it's almost done, so we just need to get a couple of more enemies left. Might as well get a cheerleader too while I'm at it. Dodgeball! Ouch! God damn it! Here, I'm gonna finish this once and for all. And yes, there is a block button and I didn't use it. God damn it. Well, that's fantastic. I'll see you guys in the next episode of River City Ransom, when I get my revenge on these punks on the playground, and more importantly, I'm going to go back into the school and do some side quests before we actually leave the school for good. This is RVMan985. See you guys next time in part 2.